Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Speak Your Mind with Ovie. And today we've got in the house a fashionista, a fashion man, a fashion everything, and his name is no other person but the great Savas. Hi Savas, welcome to today's episode of Speak Your Mind with Ovie. And the viewers are listening, the viewers want to know everything they can be able to get from fashion that you can impact also with. So today we're going to be talking to Savas, we're going to be knowing who Savas is, we're going to be knowing about his career in fashion, we're going to be knowing a lot about him. And so please stick to your screen and we will be enjoying a very beautiful moment of impactation from the fashion industry today. So Savas, hi Savas. Welcome to today's episode and we're glad to have you on our show on Speak Your Mind with Ovie. Savas, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your city where you grew up and life in general, please?
Yeah, my name's Savas. I'm currently living in Toronto. I'm a student at Ryerson in their fashion program. I'm in my second year. I was born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, just one province over. I'm 20 years old.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Tell me, what's Winnipeg known for? Winnipeg, Manitoba. In case you haven't been to Winnipeg, Manitoba before, he's going to actually tell us what's peculiar down there and what it's known for. So please, can you tell us, Savas, what's Winnipeg, Manitoba known for? Or like you said two. Did you say two provinces?
One province over.
Okay, one province over. So please tell us what it is.
Not known for too much. It's on the smaller side. I think it's around 750 or 800,000 people.
That's a lot of people too.
It is quite a bit. There's a lot of good infrastructure for families. A lot of immigrants coming over and move there. It's really good to start a family. It's not too expensive, but it's still a big city. It's not a small town. There is a nice art scene there as well. That's always been very popular.
You know, there are people who do not like the busy life in Toronto. There are people that don't like the busyness and everything in Toronto, and there are people who prefer being in the countryside. So if you're actually thinking about relocating or moving to a place that is simple or a place that is easy, like he has said, Winnipeg is also a beautiful city, not as big as Toronto, beg your pardon, not as big as Toronto, but definitely a beautiful city. It's a peaceful city there.
Exactly, and it's not a small town. It is a true city. There's still malls. There's still a downtown.
Nice. That's very good. That's very, very good. So let's first of all know what brings the great Savas to Toronto. What brings Savas to Toronto in the first place?
It was fashion. I wanted to pursue fashion, but the opportunities that Toronto would give me, just how big the city is, how many people there are here, how many people here are creative, and how many people are starting their own businesses, have connections, know people who know people. That was the main draw. Yeah.
I like that part. Know people who know people. Now, that's one thing about we trying to be able to get Speak Your Mind with Ovie, whereby we've got a channel whereby you can contact people who've got businesses. In our previous episodes, we've had someone who caters, we've also had someone who makes braids, we've also had someone who's a nurse. So these are their platforms. It's also, Speak Your Mind with Ovie is also a platform whereby you can meet people who know people. You can contact them via Instagram and all that, just the way we will be leaving Savas's Instagram handle if you intend to go into the fashion industry on the screen. We're going to have it on the screen at some point in the course of today's episode. Now, like he said, knowing people is very paramount. A lot of people have got businesses. A lot of people have got a lot of very great ideas. A lot of people have got they can even think about it and say things like, we need to be able to do this and this and this to be able to make it. Now they know all of those things. Now the clientele has to do with the customers, the people you know, because the people you know are the first people to run through your product. The people you know are the first people who want to wear your shirt, who wants to wear the design clothes, who wants to wear or even buy what you are making. So to that effect, he made a very, very great idea, a very, very wonderful speech when he said Toronto's got more people who know people more. Sometimes it might not just be your community. You might actually be saying, okay, I want to create a shed. Now, in the process of wanting to create a shed, you're not creating a shed for just your community. Someone else in another community might definitely like your shed, or probably might like your brand, and they might want to, in all ramifications, to be able to buy it. And then you're making more money. So with that put in place, the connection he talked about is very important. The broad scope in big cities whereby you get to see different communities is very important for a business to thrive very well. Savas, thank you for that speech. It was a very, very good one. And now we're going to move over to your career. Why fashion? Why did you think about fashion in the first place?
It's just something I've always been interested in. I can attribute that to my mom, I think, when I was younger. Definitely pushing me.
First of all, today's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to
Mother's
Savas's mom. Happy Mother's Day. I think there are differences in it. I think some parts of the UK have their Mother's Day different
Okay.
from the time North America have their Mother's Day. I'm not sure if the Mother's Day of today is the one in the UK or other places or in whole of Europe, but I think there's a Mother's Day today. But I want to wish Savas's mom happy Mother's Day because she eventually impacted this man to be able to want to choose a career and choose a path that he likes and that he's pursuing right now. So please go ahead. Your mom actually gave.
Yeah, she brought me along shopping with her and made me or helped me become conscious about what I was wearing and different styles, different clothing brands, and from there I've just taken it and ran and become really interested in it and have decided that I'd like to pursue a career in fashion. That's why, like I said, I'm here in Toronto studying at Ryerson.
Yeah, he just said it. It's true that some families, some parents actually help to be able to promote the vision of a child. Now, especially when you're taking your child shopping, some parents wouldn't want to. They'll be like, I'll just buy whatever I'm going to buy, know your sizes and all that. Now, the clothes your people wear, the clothes your children wear actually does affect how they feel. A lot of people don't know that, but when your child goes to school and your child is looking very well, or your child is looking well dressed, definitely all the classmates, their peers are definitely going to be like, I like you this, and I like this, and I like that. Now, when they go back home and they see all together that, yeah, mommy got me this, or daddy got me this, and it really looked cool, and because it did look cool, my friend told me it looked nice, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go again with mommy to go do some more shopping and all that. So our parents can actually impact us, even in the way we're dressing, also the way we be able to pick our career. Now, he said his mom actually impacted him, and I'm going to tell you about my mom. My mom actually is a nurse, and she impacted me when I used to see her coming back from work. She's got this hat, nursing hat, with the all white nursing stuff back in the days, and it was really, really wonderful. The uniform they wear was wonderful and all that. So I thought about it and I was like, I was going to go into the health sector or the health field because I could see how mom was able to handle things around the house, being a nurse and all that, and it was good. So these little things we do around the children also helps mold our mindsets to become what we eventually want to become later in life. So I actually do like the fact that your mom actually, another big thanks and kudos to Savas's mom. Savas's mom, thank you. You impacted him, and it's very, very nice. So Savas, now speaking for you starting, we can all hear him saying he started it when he was very young, from his mom who was going shopping with him and all that. Now, when you got to become an independent person, you still had a poise, you still had the vision to go into it. What was the drive? How did it come true?
I thought to myself, if I want to hopefully pursue fashion, this is the time. This is the time to do it while I'm still young and while I have an opportunity. And to be honest, I wasn't really sure what else I wanted to do and what other careers I wanted to take. Some of my friends knew right away, in high school and even in middle school as well. They knew I wanted to go into, one of my good friends, engineering. He's always wanted to be an engineer and go into engineering, and that's what he's pursuing now. And for me, there's more of a battle of the practicality of pursuing fashion, and I think I made the right choice in actually pursuing it, and my family's very supportive as well.
Yeah,
My mom.
that's very very good for him to continue in the line of fashion. It's not easy, but there are a lot of competitions in fashion now. Talking about that, let's talk about the competitions in fashion. I know there is someone out there who is probably talking or thinking about fashion. Now, you might not be thinking about real expressive fashion, but you might just be thinking about making some urban clothes like t-shirts, like hoodies, like pants, or like just summer up and down wears and all that. And the truth is, one of the great constraints is the competition. Sometimes some people are doing this, there's also Amazon FBA. You're going to think about, okay, I need to contact people in China, suppliers to supply me this, and when they supply me this, I use this to be able to mold and all that. It's good, but do not actually feel the competition could actually hinder your ability to make the progress, because the truth is there are many brands. There are many brands out there right now, and for a startup, for a fashion startup, you're going to ask yourself a lot of questions. You're going to ask yourself questions like, when will I get to Gucci level? When will I get to Versace level? When will I get to the Dior level? When will I get to that really, really, really intense and topmost level? And I'm not going to lie to you, it's not easy, but it is attainable. It is achievable. It just matters with consistency, because there are lots of upcoming brands that are making it right now, and that's where we're going to go to the next question in asking Savas about. He's going to tell us 5 upcoming brands he knows, 5 upcoming brands he thinks could make it to become a big brand later, because there are many upcoming brands. There's the likes of Off-White, there's the likes of Essentials. They're upcoming, but not really upcoming because they're doing good already in the market. So there's a like of UGs, there's a like of Pretty Little Things. Pretty Little Things is pretty much like it's got his name on the hearts of every lady right now, because the ladies are always buying Pretty Little Things. And there's likes of Shane. They're not very, very in quote very known, but they're still very, very. There are many brands. So Savas, can you tell us about five upcoming brands in the fashion industry that you think could actually make it up there to the Gucci or all those Dior and very luxurious brands?
Yeah, there's a few designers and brands I can think of right now. Post-archive Faction, who actually one of my classmates introduced me to them. It's very like experimental, a lot of really big pieces, a lot of different layers and different ways to combine clothes, which I think is really popular right now. A lot of people like really versatile garments. Brands, or the designer Elliot Emile is really popular right now.
Take notes of the names, please. You said the first, you just made mention of one. I'm not even conversant of that one, so that's the reason why.
The first was Post-Archive Faction, or PAF.
Post-Archive Fashion. Post-Archive Fashion. I've never heard of it. I'm just making you understand that. I haven't even heard of it. That's the reason he's here, to tell us, to educate us, to make us understand that there are fashion brands out there that we do not definitely know about. So number 1, Post-Archive Fashions. Number 2,
Elliot Emile.
Elliot Emile. So when you see these brands, if you're thinking like, oh, this is the only brand, no, they're very, very cool brands. Elliot Emile.
Diesel has been doing really good stuff recently.
Diesel.
They'll be on the rise.
Diesel has been doing good stuff, and they will be on the rise. You're listening to that.
Stussy, definitely.
Stussy. See, I don't even know. I haven't watched Stussy before, and I don't even know Stussy, but now I'm taking note of it, because they could be very great brands that could be cheaper and still give you the style you like. So if you do not have the money to be able to buy the Gucci, or to be able to buy the Versace, or buy Dior, or definitely maybe you don't want to be able to buy, you don't want to buy the Yeezy. Yeezy is not even on the high side. You can know all of this. Now the fourth and fifth one you give us.
The fifth one. I'll say And Wander, I think, is a company in New York.
And Wander.
And Wander. It's more outdoors inspired.
Outdoors inspired. You see, I'm going to definitely Google it. As I'm talking to you guys now, you guys can even be Googling it. Just open your laptop and he's speaking, you just type it and be like, you check their website. They probably will be cheaper. You buy it and you look good and it's good business looking good. If I come to you and I'm looking very, very rough on my closet, now that's something we need to talk about. Someone was telling me that these days we no longer press our clothes, we no longer iron our clothes with a pressing iron, that we just put it in a dryer and the dryer just washes the clothes, and after the dryer washes the clothes, we just wear it. And I was thinking about it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks like it's something that's...
Yeah, I was talking, it's funny, I was talking to my mom a few months ago about that, because I've always, when she, how she raised me, it's always, every single piece of clothing was ironed right out of the dryer. And just in talking with my friends, I realized that a lot of them don't iron their clothes right after they wash them.
Exactly.
Yeah, strange.
It's before, it used to be very, very stretched. Everybody washes their clothes and all that, irons it. Maybe it's the washing machine we have these days. I feel there could be some technologies over there, because there are some washing machines that have got pen press. So maybe when it goes into the machine brings it out not super squeezed, and maybe that's the reason people just feel like, why should I wash it and all that. Now, moving up from there, we're going to be talking to Savas. We're going to be asking Savas questions. Now, he's told us about upcoming brands that he thinks will make it to the top level. Now, we're going to ask him about, we know the glamorous brands, the beautiful brands, the very shiny, luxurious brands. So we're going to ask him to tell us, first of all, about his top 5 best designers brands. His top 5 best designer brands. And number one,
I think I'd have to say Saint Laurent. For one of the bigger houses. I've always been a big fan of their very clean silhouettes, a lot of suiting as well, a lot of really nice suits, the very skinny ties, the skinny blazers.
Pay attention. Go ahead.
I'm a big fan, and also it complements my body type, being a tall, skinny guy as well, so it tends to look
for girls out there, 1 minute please, 1 minute. For girls out there, he's a very tall man, he's very tall. So if you're thinking about liking a very tall man, this is one of them. Please go ahead. So number 2, what would you give us as number 2 as his top 5 brands?
Top 5 brands. Oh, for luxury brands?
For luxury brands.
Yeah. I think Prada. I like a lot of their camp color shirts, like the shirt I'm wearing. Jeff Goldblum, the actor, he wears a lot of them. You've probably seen him wearing one.
Prada is nice. It's just that Prada is expensive.
It is. They're all.
When I look at it on the website, I just look at it and be like, no. Prada is a very good brand. Super good, super quality, super everything. Yeah, that's your number 2, right?
Yep.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3 would have to be Bottega Veneta with their
Bottega is good.
Yeah, a lot of their signature green they use on their garments, and the weaving pattern they have as well. A lot of their bags and their shoes. They've been doing really good stuff.
Yeah, recently. I think their shoes are sick. Like,
they're nice.
The shoes, the
sandals.
Yeah, the sandals and all that. They're very, very good stuff. They have really Bottega's on a high, very, very good kind of quality clothes. So that's number 3. What's your number 4?
Number 4, I don't like everything they do, but Balenciaga, I like how they push the envelope with their designs and their runway shows and their ideas. A lot of it is regular garments that have been reworked or reimagined. It's not a lot of what is pretty flashy, but I like the way
Balenciaga, they're good. Now, not only are they good, I think they are coming up very strong.
Yeah, they've been doing
Yeah,
very well.
because these days they've got Justin Bieber. They've got Justin Bieber actually as their ambassador recently. They also have what do they call it? They also have Kim Kardashian. They have Kim Kardashian as the ambassador recently.
Yeah, she wears a lot.
Yeah, she was a lot of Balenciaga. She even had a tape. I
Yes,
think the tape
caution
stuff.
tape, that was
The caution
Balenciaga.
tape and everything. That was all Balenciaga. Like for real, the Balenciaga is going up very, and they're going really strong on it. They're not joking. They're like trying to tell other brands that yeah, we're out there, but we're really coming out strong. I think they've even got Davido of Nigeria, the Nigerian musician Davido. They've even got him as an ambassador recently. I saw him doing some kind of show in London with Balenciaga and all that, and I think they're really doing good. They're doing very good. How about what's your fifth? What would be the fifth?
The fifth is, I don't know. Maybe I think Gucci, just because of not just the history of them, but they tend to use a lot of floral patterns and very flowy pieces recently. I like it a lot, and they've had so many different shows and so many different looks for their brand and for their company. And like Balenciaga, they use a lot of celebrities as models and really push their clothes to be out there and worn by them on the runway or onto premieres, which is really cool to see.
Floral patterns. That's the first thing I want to say about Gucci. Now, flowers are beautiful. Flowers signify love. Flowers make life beautiful. Even the scent of flowers actually are used for perfume. So life is beautiful with flowers. And I think Gucci actually incorporating all of that, beautiful designs in their clothing, in their shoes and all that really makes them outstanding. Now he's giving us 5. But he hasn't mentioned one I really like. And I'm gonna mention that because I really like the brand. And the brand is Dior. I really like Dior. Now, Dior is doing very good. They're not very super, how am I gonna put it? They're not very super out there with the marketing. But Dior's got some very nice brands these days. I see them on some TV shows. Some artists wear them and it's really, really good stuff. Dior is good, Dior is perfect, Dior is nice. Also, Burberry. Burberry is something else. Now, I used to like Burberry before, and they changed the style.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they changed the style a little bit too. Cause like there's like a BOT in it, and then even in the hats, and then their shirts and all that, it's now looking very, very nice. So I really like Burberry for that, and that is very good. Now there used to be one shirt my dad got in Germany from Burberry, and the shirt had an inside and an outside. Now the outside shirt was a blue, and the inside shirt was a white. So what was peculiar about that shirt was the fact that you can wear the shirt like this, and after wearing it, you can decide later, or probably you want to go out in the evening or you want to go out the next day, and you can decide to change the shirt and just wear the inside of it. It's not going to have those lapels or all of those outing. It's going to look like another complete shirt. It's the same shirt. The inside is different color from the outside, but when you wear the outside, you can also wear the inside, and no one is going to know if there's an inside or outside. It's just a very nice shirt. Please, can you tell us about how they make those kind of shirts that can be versatile? Versatile in the sense that you can wear it in the morning, or probably the time. We're not talking about the time. You can wear it any given point in time, like changing wears. Like if you probably are traveling and you do not want to have too much of clothes in your box, so when you're flying, they do not hold you do not wear your box and be like, yeah, I've got too much clothes there. You can get one shirt that has 2 colors that can serve 2 purposes. So in the morning of your vacation, you could probably go out, and when you go out, somebody is gonna look like, oh, this guy wore a blue shirt, and the blue shirt had a pocket here with a rose or a swan on it. And later in the evening, you want to go out, you could probably wear the shirt again, And this time it's not going to be a blue shirt, but it's going to be, let's say, a gray color on the inside. So please, can you tell us about how fashion designers and even the tailors make those kind of clothing?
It's usually they actually make two separate garments. You'd have like a white shirt and then a blue shirt as well. And then they will sew them together. And the way they sew them, you can't, like you said, you can't see the seams coming through or any of the stitching. It's impressive. A lot of jackets are like that as well. You'll have a like fuzzy liner on the inside and a smooth puffer outside, and you can flip it around so now the fuzzy Sherpa part is on the outside and the puffer part is on the inside.
Yeah.
It makes it really convenient, like you said, if you're traveling for people, and it makes it more marketable as well, because now you can wear it for two occasions and you can wear it with different outfits. You can wear your white shirt with your black pants, and then that same shirt but blue with red pants. It gives you a lot more options, and that's what people want these days. They want their clothes to do more for them and to be able to be worn in more settings.
He said something about more options. Now, I have seen a shirt, like a real beautiful color shirt with a hoodie neck on it. Now, this is talking about more options. Now, the clothes are like this. You wear the blue, let's say you wear the blue shirt, like you're just going to the office, you've got a color, you put on your collar, you put on your tie. And eventually, later, I saw him, the guy who had the shirt, when he was done with work, it looks like there was somewhere at the back of the collar that he had then he just brought the hoodie into it, and I was like, wow. Yeah. And also, they're also talking about more options. There are also some clothes that have got, you were talking about the other day about the detachable pockets and all that. Yeah, please can you throw a little bit of light on that?
Yeah, like I was saying before, I'm a big fan of clothes that can do a lot of things and have a lot of different uses. I was talking to Ovie the other day about clothes, the idea of clothes with removable pockets, to be able to change the actual look of the garment and changing the colors, changing how it can be used as well. If I was going out for a full day, I might want to attach 3 or 4 pockets so I could hold all my things. Or if I was wearing the jacket on a run, maybe take them all off so it's nice and light but still keeps me warm.
So not more like he could wear a white shirt and he could have a blue pocket and it could just be something that's detachable. I think there's a kind of something to put into it to make it, you can just...
It's the Velcro.
The Velcro, you said what?
Velcro's one?
See, I don't know it.
Like a Velcro, like kids' shoes?
Okay, yeah, like kids' shoes. Yeah,
kids' shoes. That, I've seen people use zippers as well, which makes sense. That's a common one, just like jackets.
Yeah, the zippers are also nice. There's a shirt I've got that's got this zipper. You can zip it up and it still gives you color, the right fittings and all that. So that's really, really nice. That's really nice. Now, moving up from there, we're still talking about options because these are different wears. They're urban wears, they're official wears. Now, what would you say about official wears? Like the suit, the tie. Sometimes I want to wear the suit, sometimes I want to wear the tie. Probably in our next episode, I'll be wearing a suit and I'll be wearing, maybe not a tie, but definitely a suit and look sharp. What are you going to say, like, in terms of corporate wears? What brands would you say are really conspicuous when it comes to suits and all that?
There are a lot. It is hard to tell a lot of the time what people are wearing unless there's a very obvious look to it. Like if there's a certain pattern that's very floral with maybe some gold detailing, you could probably guess that was a Gucci suit jacket. I'm a big fan of suiting as well, and
I saw your profile. His profile pictures got these beautiful suits and all this shit, and I was like, Savas is looking clean. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like you're saying.
So, Savas is going to be telling us about lifestyle. So, Savas, can you tell us about the lifestyle? Like, how? First of all, Savas, you're single, right?
I am.
Okay, Savas is single. That information is between you and whatever you decide to do with the information. Savas is single. So he's a wonderful man, you can see he's a handsome man, it looks good and all that too. His Instagram is going to be there. Not only can he style you as a designer, you can also be your friend and he can help you and give you good and very wonderful advices about designs. So please, Savas, can you tell us about what you think about the ladies down here in Toronto? Like, have you met people? Have you seen anyone and how do they?
Yeah, I've gone on a few dates here.
Few days.
And it's been nice. It's nice coming to somewhere where you don't really know anybody. And in Toronto, there's so many people, girls and guys. There's just so many options, which is really nice.
Options. Do
Yeah.
you think the options are a problem? Because sometimes the option could be a problem. A lot of people feel there are people out there that have their significant order, they're not getting relationships. First of all, we know it's all about compromises. Now, when you feel sometimes that you need to be able to feel better because your partner doesn't give you what you want, it gives you the chance to explore the options out there. Now, do you think the options could be a problem?
I see where you're coming from, but I think that the options, the good outweighs the bad, that it is good that there are options, and I think that people shouldn't force them to stay with somebody just because they're comfortable, just because it's easy. And it's easier said than done. I understand that you can't just always walk away. But it is nice that there are a lot of options here. So hopefully there is someone better for you, someone more suited to you, and someone that will care for you and love you the way you want to be.
All right, it's time to ask about some personal choices. What would you say? What are your favorite musicians? Favorite music you listen to? What kind of music do you listen to?
Listen to a lot of different music, pop, rap, country music, classic rock as well. Been listening to more jazz as I study these days too. I try to diversify. I try to listen to a lot of different stuff. If there's a genre I haven't listened to, I'll try and find a few songs that people recommend that are popular.
What would you say? Who would you say is your favorite musician?
My favorite musician? It's tough. There's so many and so many different
genres,
different categories.
So who's your favorite in hip hop?
In hip hop, I'd say probably. I think Gucci Mane is one of my favorites, just from his whole career. He's a lot of
Gucci Mane,
material. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For kind of like slower songs or folk, or I guess like more folk or songs like that. Father John Misty, I really like his voice.
Father John Misty,
Mm-hmm.
you go find down here, Father John. Go on.
Pop music, probably like Dua Lipa. I think is one of my favorites. She's very good, very popular.
She's good. She's got good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, let's move away from music and let's go straight into sports. What kind of sports fancy your interests?
I don't watch tons of sports. When they're on, I will watch them. Like I'm watching the March Madness basketball right now. I watch some basketball, football, soccer as well. I grew up playing soccer or football, so I try and watch when I can or when I remember it.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we have another question for him. The question we're going to ask now is, how does fashion impact the lifestyle of people? How does it change the lifestyle of people? Because there are people who get involved with fashion and they are it's their lifestyle. Like the likes of Pharrell Williams, you always find him on shorts and casual wears. So the way you dress could be the way people use in assessing you or knowing your personality and all that. So what would you say is the way fashion affects socialism and also the lifestyle of people in all?
You touched on it earlier when you were talking about parents buying clothes for their kids, and in school how what clothes people wear adds to their confidence, their person. I remember my mom always told me that, like, the first thing someone sees when they meet you is what you're wearing and your appearance.
True.
So first impressions are, like everyone says, the most important, and it shows the person what kind of a person you are, and gives them a glimpse. If you're going for a job interview and there's stains on your shirt, if your suit jacket's wrinkled, it speaks to the person. Someone might say, this person is unkept and maybe they're in a rush or they're not very professional.
You can see it's not just about dressing, it's not just about fashion, it's not just about you wearing clothes, it speaks who you are. Because if you're going for a job interview and you're wearing a short, or you're wearing this, or you're wearing some stuff that's not acceptable, people see you and judge you based on what you're actually wearing. And that's the reason why he's been able to make us understand that fashion is not just wearing clothes, it gives you confidence, it makes the way people look at you to be factual, it makes them be able to judge your responsibility and your personality in a great style. So when you're thinking about the fashion you want to go into, the kind of brand you want to produce, we have Savas in the house. We're going to have his Instagram handle on the screen. And if you are a designer, or you are an aspiring designer and you want to be able to work with a fashion designer like himself, you can be able to reach out to him. You can be able to comment also on the podcast, and we can be able to, because we are working on a brand called White Surprise. It's going to be an urban wear and also some party wears, and we are looking towards releasing it for the summer so people could have a taste of what our designs are like. So if you have designs, if you're artistic, if you know very well that you have a passion for fashion and you're somewhere, you could be in Manitoba, you could actually be somewhere in Nova Scotia, and you want to be able to be part of White Surprise brand, you can send in your designs. We could either work on them, enhance them, or we could manifest them into the fabrics, and we could make the world a better place. So we have a designer here. You can reach out to him anytime of the day, anytime he's on socials. You can reach out to him on the socials, and he will be willing to be of help to you in any way, in every way possible. Also, before we go today, we want to ask Savas to tell us something he has for people who are into fashion. There are definitely young people who are in 14s, or the teenagers who are thinking of going into fashion. We're going to ask him to tell us one thing he thinks they should know before they go into it. There's a lot of fashion brands out there. There's a lot of clothing brands out there. So right information actually gets you far, as much as reading books, reading magazines and all that. So please, Savas, can you tell our people or our viewers what they should look out for when they're thinking of getting into a fashion industry?
There's just so much information out there on the fashion industry. I would say that you should just take in as much as you can from different sources, from magazines, from books, from talk shows, from podcasts. Try and find as much fashion content you can and absorb it, and from there you'll understand more of what you want to do, about your own personal style, about what interests you. You may find inspiration about something you want to do. If you want to make your own magazine, your own clothing line, your own distributing company, anything, really immerse yourself in the entire world of fashion, and it'll be a great groundwork. Great groundwork.
It will be a very great groundwork. So the point is, you're about to start something, and when you're about to start something, you don't keep quiet about it. You gotta try all avenues. Watch the movies, watch the podcast, Speak Your Mind with Ovie. And a matter of fact, Speak Your Mind with Ovie, you're watching us now. Have you subscribed? Please do not forget to subscribe. We're begging you. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop us a comment, and we would really appreciate that. Also, before we call it a day. Savas is going to tell us a word of wisdom he has for people out there, not just fashionistas or fashion people, but the world in general. What advice would you give anyone out there? Give us a word of wisdom we could hold on to.
It's very pertinent to a lot of things we were talking about today. Moving to new places, talking to new people, and it's a lot easier said than done. I understand that. I'm still trying to figure it out and learn it, but it's the fact that people don't care about what you're doing as much as you do.
Listen to that.
Yeah. So just go do it. Go talk to somebody on the street. Go say hi. Go say hello. Go ask that girl out or ask that boy out. If you don't think you're qualified enough for a job, go and try. If you do get denied, if they do say no, it doesn't matter. They're not going to hold it over you for the rest of your life. They're not going to remember it. You're the person that's going to beat yourself up the most.
He just said that, and a friend told me that life does not wait for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might be there, you might be asking, should I start? Should I do this? Should I do that? The truth is, you never make it up if you never started. And like he said, you've got to be able to try as much as possible to put yourself out there. There are disappointments in life sometimes, but you've got to be able to try to be able to focus and say, okay, I want to give it a shot. If it works, positivity. If it doesn't work, I improve on it. And that is how life is. So he's giving us his word of wisdom. He said, go out there, be able to reach out to people, especially when you're moving. It's not easy to move all the way from a particular place to another place. He's moved all the way from Manitoba and he's moved down here to Toronto. And it's not easy. Now, if you have friends, it's easy to be able to socialize. Now, in a quest and a place whereby you do not have friends, you have to try as much as possible to be sociable, to be able to communicate with people so they can be able to tell you things around, because you ask questions, you ask them questions, you ask people questions, and they're going to be able, they want to hear you before they tell you, okay, you need to go here, you need to do this. And sometimes you read a book and the book also describes things for you. Reading books, they're very important. So with that, we're going to be calling it off for today. Thank you, Savas, for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And please stay tuned. We're going to have more episodes next week. We're having a very wonderful lady who's going to be talking to us about design thinking, and she's also going to talk to us about art and everything. So please stay tuned, and more informations and more educated sessions are actually coming in to Speak Your Mind with Ovie. Don't forget to subscribe and go.